Right then, it's Monday. It's time for a bit of a fresh look at everything. How can Manchester United get out of this mess? Everyone in the comments right now is just typing Ollie out. All right, you're entitled to your opinions. But what if they're not going to change him? You have to look at some of the other things that are variables, because I don't know if this board is going to change him. I think there are things that this manager could do if he doesn't lose his job that could actually turn this around. So let's look at some of those. In number one, drop Maguire. I think he's shown a serious lack of leadership. Last year, we've forgiven a lot of the things that happened with him because we thought maybe the Mykonos incident is sort of clouding out his judgment. This season, I don't know if it's a Euros hangover and possibly the same with Luke Shaw. Something ain't right with Harry Maguire. There's so much missing from him. His basics of defending, the things that you think he can just rely on, just fall back on. You think these are the sort of things that he's going to be able to just deal with. He ain't dealing with them. He's lifeless in interviews, which doesn't really help. He isn't cajoling the players. He isn't one that can inspire his leadership. He threw Ollie under the bus a little bit, suggesting that the team lacked belief, which is not a good place to be in. He's got 3 errors directly leading to goals in the league, which is the most out of anybody in the team, and this is our captain. And the guy just looks an absolute shell of himself at the moment. Number 2, United need to start playing to our strengths. United have gone away from what initially worked under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that's being an attacking side. And whether that's counter-attacking or whether that's just trying to dominate the ball and attack. Initially, we were counter-attacking under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and it worked really well for us. But we've gone away from that. And we've failed to adapt to teams that are alleviating our counter-attacking threat. We've seen that our line has crept up a little bit higher, exposing the weaknesses of Harry Maguire. We no longer even know what our strengths are. That's how disjointed it's been for us this season. Are we not playing personnel that suit a style? Are we trying to do 3 different things at once rather than do one thing really well and make that what we're all about? Manchester City aren't going to dominate at set pieces. Manchester City aren't going to dominate direct balls sent straight down the pipe. There's certain things, counter-attacking as well, is that they're vulnerable to and they don't cope with very well. But what they do is they hold possession and they switch possession and they create space and have movement off the ball, which is absolutely elite. They know what they're good at and they know what they're weak at, and they go, do you know what? We think our strengths outweigh our weaknesses. Let's fucking crack on. That's what United need to do. And you go, it might be, do you know what? It's time for some 1996 Kevin Keegan-style treatment with fucking Les Ferdinand and Ginola and Shearer, and let's just fucking have it. That might be what Manchester United need to do, is just absolutely have it. We've got all the attacking threats and potency in the squad, yet we're trying to play off the back foot a little bit, and it seemingly doesn't work. Number 3, we need to abandon McFred. Legs, work rate, heart, are not enough at the very elite level. They should be the base level of every single player. You should get that. And then quality comes out on top of that one as well. Losing a midfield battle every single time because there's not enough quality progression with the ball in the centre of midfield, and we can't trust them. It's too important of a position in football to have weak links. And too many people want to look at the ceiling of a team and not the floor of a team. It's the floor of the team, the mistakes, your inabilities, which is where you're going to be unravelled and how you're going to end up losing matches. It's simply not worked. It is now time to try desperation options, whether that is try a Lindelof at a 6, whether it is try Donny van der Beek at a 6. We are at the stage where what we are doing as a safe, supposedly, option is abjectly not good enough. It's time to try something else. The strengths are in the forward areas, but they're limited in getting the ball because of McFred's inability to move the ball up the pitch. Number 4, we need to make a stand on Pogba. He's either with us or he's not. He either signs this new deal or he doesn't. And it's approaching where you're talking in a matter of days now. Manchester United need to be strong and need to say, listen, if you ain't going to sign up, you ain't going to play football until May or June when you go to your new club. Because Manchester United have to look after Manchester United. And if you're not with us, then you're going to be playing against us. Now, if Paul Pogba was putting in some outrageous performances, you could kind of go, do you know what? We'll make do and we'll work around it and maybe we'll have whatever. But he's not. His performances are poor. His work rate is poor. He gets the one opportunity against Atalanta to play him essentially a month for Manchester United because of his red card, and he's awful. And he's even showing a lack of desire, which again should be the baseline of what everybody gets. And sometimes you need more than that. But where even is that? You've got to bring that in a little bit. He's got the ability to be able to transform what goes on in the middle of Manchester United. But if he doesn't want to, then it's time for him to go. At number 5, it's the option that a lot of people are leaning towards. I think I turned the corner myself over the weekend, and I think it's a new manager. Ollie might have run his course. He might have hit his ceiling. The job that he's done from taking us from here to here has been commendable. Maybe the speed at which that went through wasn't enough for some people. But Ollie did what he was asked to do. This season, he was meant to take another step. And he took another step, but he's gone backwards. You know, the expectations that he set had gone up to here. And the expectations with the new signings had gone up to here. But the performances are here. And in a single game, you can go, Maguire's got to be better. In another game, you can say, Fred, you've got to be better. In another game, you've got to say, whoever, Bruno, you need to be hitting the target. But when you start looking at a bigger picture and it starts becoming weeks and weeks and weeks and games and games and games, there is only one man that carries that can, and that's the manager. He doesn't seem to have the answers, and he's going to come up against the bigger managers that we have this season. Previously, Ollie would go to those places with a plan, and it looked like United were able to execute that plan. That doesn't look to be the case anymore. It looks like now we've reverted back to what we were in Jose. Let's try not get embarrassed, and maybe we can snatch a draw. That's not who we are as Manchester United. Can Ollie get that back? Maybe. All managers go through a serious crisis of confidence and a dip in form, and everything looks like it can be against them, and quite often managers are able to pop out on the other side of that. But right now, from this point right now, I'd be absolutely amazed if Ollie was able to turn it around for us. A change is needed because I think that you could still correct the course this season. It's still early enough in the season. We're still close enough inside the top 4 at least, or to get inside the top 4, that we could actually make this happen. But right now, if we continue going down this path, I don't see where the turning point is. I'm not seeing it in the performances, and I'm not seeing it in the attitude of the players. That's why I think it's probably time for the change. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.